Hey, what's up, guys? It's N Squared Sports coming back with another video today. We're back doing some NFL kind of draft reactions, but more so about the certain teams and how we think they're going to do this year. I'm not sure actually when the season is even going to start, so I can't really say it's going to start in this time. We don't really know for sure yet, but we're hoping it'll start when it's supposed to start. And sorry for the lack of content recently. We've been finishing up school and just now, this last week, finished up school. So now we're in summer and we'll probably be more active, especially if this coronavirus starts to go away. We might be able to even meet in person pretty soon, hopefully. So anyway, okay. So Nick, tell me first, we'll do, I guess, the AFC first. Tell me what teams, I guess we'll go by division. So let's do the AFC South first. I know that's your
I would think I
your
would want to be
division.
last. But okay, so 7 teams are getting to the playoffs, and so
Yeah.
I'm sort of basing it off of that, I guess. And I think there's a high likelihood that 2 teams from the AFC South could get in there. This division's the weirdest in my opinion because there's no one on here that I think is like their Super Bowl contender. Um, but I think you can look at the Jags and they're like, okay, they're the Jags. They're about a year off. I actually like Gardner Minshew. 4 or 5 win team though. I hope their coach
Yeah.
gets fired. From an NFL fan perspective, from a Texans fan perspective, keep Doug Marrone there. But NFL fan, he needs to be fired. And I like Minshew. I don't know if he's the full time starter. Um,
Yeah.
if he loses games off early in the season, it's really just a tank for Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. So that's just a quick Jags. I liked their draft, nothing special. Colts, interesting. I think they're overhyped a little bit. I like Rivers. I really do. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. I don't trust him to win a game. I think that's been proven. He has less weapons than he did on the Chargers. He may have a better O line, but he has injury prone T.Y. Hilton, Jack Doyle, and I guess some rookie wide receivers. And I will preface this by saying rookie wide receivers, and this is something I will stick for. This season will not be that good. There may be 1 or 2 that shine, but there's going to be a delay with the corona. There's not. They need to get it more than anyone else besides quarterbacks. Probably they need to have a system and they need to learn it, and they're not going to learn it without being there in person. I I like the defense. They're an 8-18, 9-17 at best. Titans, I just don't see Tannehill repeating the same season that he did last season. Uh, last season, yeah. And I also don't think they're going to have a miracle run. But then again, if they do continue this, they're a Super Bowl contender, and I'll admit that. They have pieces, they have talent, especially if they sign Jadeveon Clowney, which is a highly potential. It's in the talks. Sort of one of those. I think a good floor for them is 8 and 8 wins. Their coach has done a great job at really just getting them to that 8 and 8 mark and that to the 9-7 mark. And he's honestly a pretty decent coach, nothing spectacular, but he gets the job done. The team players love him. Texans, of course, I'll leave them for last. It's one of those I've talked about it with many people before. Is in the NFL, I really do believe that they have the lowest floor and the highest ceiling. Um, their offense could collapse and just suck and be bottom 12, or I honestly believe it has the potential to be top 5 with the speed and talent and depth that they have. They're all over the place. It's from being a bottom 12 team in the league to being in the AFC Championship, and I thoroughly will believe that and argue that. But I do believe it's a big if, and there's a massive gap for them, and they have a lot to prove. So that's AFC
Yeah.
South. I mean, I know. Do you want to give me your take, and then you can go
Yeah.
on to the AFC North?
Yeah. So I agree with you with the Jags. I think they're actually further off than a year. I think they're
Mm.
pretty far off, honestly, because they've traded away so much. And I'm not as much of a believer in Gardner Minshew as you are. So I think they're a while off.
Mm. That's
And
fair.
something that I learned a couple days ago, they've had a top 10 pick every year in the last 10 years except for 2018.
Which was their miracle? Yeah.
Yeah. I researched, I saw that somewhere and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So
Yeah.
they're bad a lot.
Hmm.
basically what that means. But yeah, so I that's what I think on them. The Colts, I think they are probably the favorites right now to win the division. I
Interesting.
don't know. I think the Texans probably are up there with them, but I think, and then it's weird because the Titans were so good last year. So there's really three teams that are competitive in this
Hmm.
division. I think the Colts, in my opinion, will be the best, and I think they'll end up winning the division. I know that's a weird take for some people, but I like Philip Rivers this last year. I like him behind a good offensive line, and I mean he doesn't have a ton of weapons, but I just hope you have to hope that like Michael Pittman Jr. will play well and T.Y. Hilton will continue to play well, and Jonathan Taylor, they drafted a running back, so if their rookies play well, I think they can do really well. For the Titans, I think they'll step back in a pretty big
Hmm.
way. I think Tannehill, it will kind of be the same situation that Nick Foles went under when he
Mm.
had a Super Bowl run and then he kind of fell off the next year. That's what I
Mm.
imagine is going to happen. Could be wrong, but that's what I think. Derrick Henry still will be good, but I think that Tannehill this year will need to step up, and I don't think he will. So they're not going to be bad. I think they'll be around 7-9 ish. If I had to guess, 8-8 somewhere around there. And then the Texans, like you said, they're very boomer bust to me.
Hmm.
I usually err on the side of bust just because I don't like them very much, but also because they've been good, but they've just had a lot of injuries before, and injury is their biggest concern because if they stay healthy, like if their receivers all play even
14,
13,
13,
12,
14
13,
games.
yeah, around there, then they could be the top five offense and win the division. But I just haven't seen their receivers stay healthy for that long. So I
Mhm.
just can't believe it until I see it. That's kind of that's my opinion on them. So yeah, I think the Colts will win it, but who knows?
I definitely agree. It's right, even with the who wins that division, and like even I have a tough time picking. And also the AFC South schedules, all their schedules are a pain. Like they're
Yeah,
horrible. All of them, I think, strength of schedule is like around a point. It's getting close to .6. So like they're facing a ton of winning teams.
yeah,
Um, there's a ton of talent on their schedule. It's a tough schedule, and
yeah,
I think the teams that are mediocre, and that's why I sort of think the Colts are just going to be like, I don't think they're good enough to consistently beat some of those, winning teams.